As we are all familiar with, climate change includes a multitude of global and local impacts, including potentially severe change across Canada's landscape. However, an often overlooked aspect of the climate change discussion relates to how Indigenous peoples are threatened, especially relative to non-Indigenous groups. And these issues have and continue to threaten Indigenous cultures, livelihoods, knowledge systems, and communities in general. In addition, climate change effects are projected to increasingly threaten these traditional territories and resources that are vital to Indigenous well-being in the future. As mentioned, my name is Eric Lillow, and I am a project assistant working with the Mikisew Cree Nation Government and Industry Relations Office. And during my time as a project assistant, I worked with the Mikisew Cree Nation on developing and executing a research plan to identify the scope for building community resilience as it relates to the impacts of climate change. And in doing so, providing innovative recommendations for future research as well as community programs. Also, a primary goal of my research was to fill in any potential gaps between Mikisew Cree Nation and provincial as well as federal climate change policies. So in order to complete this task, my goal was then to research and compile existing literature on topics such as climate change policy, building adaptive capacity, and fostering community resilience. In doing so, providing an up-to-date description of these topics in a library of sources, and providing an analysis of government policy as it relates to climate change in connection to Mikisew culture, specifically water concerns due to its relationship with the significant Peace Athabasca Delta in northern Alberta. And here I was able to expand my own knowledge and identify these gaps in political and legal documentation, and thus uncovering opportunities that may exist for Mikisew Cree Nation to enhance its role in the consultation and impact assessment processes. And finally, I'm meeting and collecting data in the form of interviews and gaining the perspective of those familiar with the community through firsthand experience. And from this research, we concluded that Indigenous communities at large are well positioned to direct and assist with climate adaptation plans, and engaging with community members is a significant way to continue to reduce vulnerabilities and increase resilience. However, significant barriers still exist in both policy and literature. Our research indicates that policymakers and academics should then reconsider the role and inclusion of Indigenous peoples and knowledge in the creation as well as the continuation of frameworks to battle the impacts of climate change. And as I point to the close of my presentation, I'd like to note that Indigenous peoples hold unique knowledge regarding how to care for our shared planet over thousands of years. And as Canadians adapt to climate change impacts, the rest of us have a lot to learn and little time to waste. Thank you.